Ever wonder what it really takes to be a social care
Oh,
worker?
absolutely.
We're going deep on this career path today,
Okay.
using RoleCatcher's insights. And we're
Yeah.
going way beyond just like the typical job description stuff, We're going to talk about like
Yeah.
what really happens day to day, the
Yeah.
challenges, the good stuff, even how to get started if this is like calling your name.
It's a field people don't always get, you
Yeah.
know? So having RoleCatcher pull back the curtain, super valuable, whether you're thinking about this for yourself, someone you know,
Mhm.
or just like want to understand this whole part of how things work.
Totally. So first off, what are we talking about when we say social care worker? Because RoleCatcher paints a picture that's bigger than just like helping someone with their daily routine.
For sure. For sure. They're right there on the front lines, working with all kinds of people, all ages, facing all sorts of challenges. But here's the thing that really struck me. RoleCatcher's all about this strengths-based approach. It's not just, okay, what can't this person do? It's more like, what can they do and how do we build on that?
Yeah.
Subtle difference, but huge.
So it's about like empowering people to have the best life possible, whatever that looks like for them.
Exactly. And that plays out in so many ways. Like one day, you could be helping someone navigate a total bureaucratic nightmare, just to get basic
I
services.
would believe it.
And then the next, you're organizing some social outings so they're not totally isolated. It's wild.
Sounds like you need a whole toolbox of skills for this empathy, practicality, maybe even a little bit of street smarts.
Right. It's a lot.
And I was surprised by how honest RoleCatcher was about the tough stuff, too. It's not all rainbows and sunshine
Oh, for
in
sure.
this line of work.
Not at all.
Right.
No, they're upfront about the emotional toll it can take. And the resources are often limited. And then there's the bureaucracy, which never seems to end. It's intense emotionally. And you're always fighting for people who might not be able to fight for themselves.
That's a really good point. Makes you think about the kind of person who's drawn to this work, the resilience it takes. This isn't just a job, it's got to be something more. So for those folks, what's the path look like career-wise?
So RoleCatcher lays out a pretty classic trajectory, usually starting with those direct care roles.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you get your feet wet,
Mm-hmm.
really build those fundamental skills we were talking about. Then, as you gain experience, you might move into a junior social care worker role, where you're doing more, like creating individualized care plans or advocating for your clients within different systems.
Wow. So there's actual room to grow, to specialize even.
Oh yeah, RoleCatcher makes that really clear. You can become a senior social care worker, managing a whole caseload, or even move into management, overseeing entire programs. It really depends on what you're passionate about, what you're good at.
It's like a career with real legs, not just a temporary thing.
Yeah.
But what really got me was RoleCatcher talking about how the skills you learn doing this can translate to other fields. It's like it opens up this whole other network of possibilities.
Totally. The transferable skills are through the roof. Think about it. You're learning to communicate like a pro, dealing with people all the time, figuring out how these complex systems work. And on top of that, you're becoming a master of empathy, A&D problem solving, often under pressure.
Wow. It's like boot camp for understanding people and their needs, which, let's be real, is useful no matter what you end up doing.
100%.
Did RoleCatcher give like specific examples of these other careers?
Oh, yeah, they had a bunch. For example, legal guardianship. Your knowledge of vulnerable folks and the whole legal side of things would be so valuable. Or volunteer mentoring, where being able to connect with someone and empower them can totally change a young person's life.
Mm-hmm. Right, right. It's not just about the tasks themselves, but those core skills you're building. Did they mention any other career paths?
They did. They talked about being a foster care support worker, a child welfare worker, family support, even residential child care. It's kind of mind-blowing when you see it all laid out like that.
Yeah.
Just how many options open up.
It shows how this work really touches everything. It's pretty amazing. But all right, switching gears for a sec, I want to talk about RoleCatcher's interview prep stuff. They really went all out there.
Yeah, they did.
What makes their approach so different?
So it's their focus on being really specific, plus using AI in a smart way. Like take their database of interview questions. They've got over 120,000 of them.
What?
But here's the thing. They're not just general questions. They're tailored to specific careers and even skill sets within those careers.
Whoa, okay.
It's next level.
So if I'm applying to be a social care worker, I'm getting questions that actually test if I can do that job, not just some generic HR stuff.
You got it.
Uh,
They've clearly done their homework, figuring out what each role really needs, and then designing questions that show if you've actually got the goods.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, there's their Copilot AI.
Oh, right. They're like AI career coach in your pocket. How does that work for interviews?
Okay, imagine this. You record yourself answering those practice questions.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Copilot AI actually analyzes your performance, how you're speaking,
Yeah.
your body language, even what you're saying. It's like having your own personal interview coach, but without the crazy cost.
That is wild. I bet that's so helpful, especially if you're not super comfortable with interviews.
For sure.
It's like they made a game out of it or
Mhm.
something.
Totally. And that's important because they're not shying away from how tough the job market is now. They get that more and more companies are using AI to screen applications, which can be scary for people.
Oh, tell me about it. Those applicant tracking systems, they're like a black box. You never know what's going on in there.
Right. RoleCatcher breaks it down, though.
Yeah.
Their job spec analysis thing, it looks at job descriptions and figures out exactly what skills they're looking for.
Yeah.
Then it shows you how well your CV actually matches up. No more guessing games. It gives you the info to make your application stand out.
That's amazing, seriously. It's like having the cheat codes, but for your career. I love it.
Totally. No more guessing games. But, even beyond all these tools, what I really like about RoleCatcher is that they're thinking about the whole picture when it comes to, building a career.
What do you mean? Like, what's the whole picture?
So it's not just about getting you in an A job,
Right.
right? They have this whole section on career planning where you can explore different paths, figure out what you're good at and what you actually like doing. You can even get matched with potential careers based on your skills, which is really cool.
So it's like they're helping you find something that you actually care about, not just a paycheck.
Exactly. It's about finding a job that fits your values, your goals. I think that kind of brings us back to what this whole deep dive has been about making informed choices, whether it's choosing a career path, supporting a loved one, or just being more aware of these issues in our communities, understanding how care work really works, what these folks go through, it matters.
Big time. RoleCatcher gave us a ton to think about, but like you said, it feels like this is just the beginning of the conversation.
Yeah, definitely. Exploring the world of social care workers like this, seeing it through RoleCatcher's lens, it shows you how connected we all are.
Mm.
And it finds a light on these amazing people who are making a difference every day, even if we don't always see it.
It reminds you that even if you're not like directly involved in this field, we all have a role to play in building a society that actually supports people, that's more inclusive.
100%. And you know what? That might be the most important takeaway of all.